Hello, hello everyone. My name is Silence or CiCi, your favorite bunny boy shark, and the still current leader of SSI. Yes, despite the infractions and toils that TCP is trying to put upon us, we are still thriving as a nation, or at least I believe we're thriving as a nation. It's up to personal opinion, so I can't be fact checked. Anyways, I wanted to talk about the recent election today regarding
What the fuck? Oh, there's a
Pentagonal's.
big bug on my table.
If you would please excuse that, there's a big bug on General DMC's table. Now, um, I would like to discuss the newest re-election that happened just this week. Uh, Pentagonal has re-won Strudel and has been re-elected for his second term as president. Now, typically, with most other oppositions, you might hear something as if, like, this is unacceptable. I'm disappointed in me. Anyways, but this time, I'm actually quite happy about this. With. Oh, even though SSI did lose, we still have managed to gain second place once more, even though there were back end and backdoor disgusting deals put up by the TCP with multiple leaks coming out that they've been trying to steal the election and push SSI into an underground position, trying to take our concurrent fourth in a row second-hand winnings. Now, this is really appalling and quite TCP. As I said, I criticized them quite heavily, but to even go as this far, simply as a new party, it's quite appalling. But moving on from the topic, as much as I would love to, shoot the shit about TCP and how much I despise their existence, I'm not gonna do that today. I want to talk about some new relations that I'd like to set up with other parties. Regarding RFM first. RFM is a wide. What? Sorry, I heard something. Sorry, chat. Sorry, chat. I heard something in real life. It was like glass breaking or something. I got confused. Anyway, so regarding RFM, I wanted to put out the announcement that to Pentagonal or any high up official in RFM, I would like to start speaking on some relations regarding our two parties, and start to create a more of a bond and repair the burnt bridge that was in between our two parties. We have worked once before, a very long time ago, in a uneasy alliance due to the isolation of SSI and the new beginnings of reform, causing a lot of stress between any workarounds or working together that we could have had. And it was a alliance that just didn't work out. But I am really willing to work with you guys again, due to your own president's communication with me and his own kindness to speak on me on some terms that we have agreed on. Um, Personally, I believe that a work around to the disagreements that we had and an agreement between our parties could be very healthy and a lot better than how it was before. And I believe we can come to an agreement just based on some ideals that you and I may have separately. Now, I know that RFM has a lot of different ideals compared to SSI when it comes to modding. Overall, RFM wants to keep the servers as safe and as well put together as possible, and I can completely respect that as an individual and another party leader, as I want, as maybe I do want to push the server as far as I can into the future and bring us to a new era where ideas can flourish. I do admit sometimes pushing too far and uh, adding too much can damage the longevity of the server, and I completely respect your decision to be skeptical with it. So I wanted to open up any relations that you would like to have with SSI, and I humbly would request in the leaders meeting that we can talk on these agreements. Now, moving on to APC. I understand that you had denied any help from SSI for some collaborated builds to improve the structure of APC due to APC working more as a wartime base and something that is more structured to work for your members. And I completely respect that. But even if you did deny that, I would completely appreciate um, I would really appreciate uh, that if you would like to come in also to find some party relations with SSI. We have worked together before in the past with the third election. No, fourth election. Wait, what was the most recent election? Someone fact check me. The fifth election. Okay, so in the fourth election, we worked together to push Atlas to a very high position and came to an agreement with some nice advertising and getting people to come to our side instead of just forcing them to vote for Atlas. And I really appreciate that work that we did together. And it was a really high motivator for not only for me to stay in the server, but to keep things going as well. So I really appreciate that and the work that you've just done with us so far. Your presidencies were lackluster, I will admit, and your most recent presidency attempts have been poor, but we can at least respect what you're doing to keep RFM in the running due to their very superior, you know, they're really superior in terms of how they run the server and their policies, and I can completely respect the fact that you want them on top. I understand that the voting for RFM and not SSI was not out of that you dislike SSI, more or less the fact that you simply want to choose a safer option over one that could be risky. And yes, I admit, I can't seem like the risky option for an approval, but um, I completely think I would be capable, and I believe a lot of people think I would be capable. It's more or less the fact that Pentagonal is more capable than I am, and he is a safer pick, and I completely respect the decision. But I hope in this next election, when it does arrive, that you can consider working with me for that. As I know, one of your major goals is to apply server diversity in terms of politics and diversity in power. So, if you'd like to work on me with that, I would appreciate that. But if you'd like to work with SSI in general, you're completely open to. SSI has a lot of love for you guys, and we have a lot of nice relations. To MSR, one of the newer parties on the server, I have already set up some prior negotiations, not negotiations, but prior engagements and some nice courtesies with you before, nice conversations discussing the server and such. And I would gladly invite you to come in with maybe just any way that we can help you if you come into agreements politically and such, or anything of the such. I know a lot of your members are quite nice, and you have very complex structure on how you run your party, and I believe we can help you support that. Whilst I don't know as much about your party as I know the others, I believe that great fellowship between our parties could come into contact due to how we operate and our similarities in our operations. So, yeah, if you'd like to come into communication with me on somewhat of an alliance or anything of the sort, you can always come up. Three parties that I mentioned can come up and start an alliance. I appreciate it if you would. All three of the parties I mentioned are very well put together in their own ways. Whilst APC isn't well put together on the outside, they play a very, very important supporting role no matter who is running. If you have APC on your side, you're a winner. If you have RFM on your side, you're politically winning. And if you have SSI on your side, you're financially and economically winning. I thank you all for watching my speech today. I hope you like the Pokaku bird in the background. And I hope that the relations that I set up with the three parties, well, that we can come to agreements and come together to make some relations and be on better terms. And I do fully apologize for the harshness and the lies I have put out before in the past and how I did run my party in a very unserious way, but now I believe we have a common enemy. And I believe that we should work together a little bit more than we have in the past and come to just nice relations. That's all I have to say. My name is CiCi, or Silent. I am the leader of the SSI, and I hope you enjoyed my speech. If you have any questions, please leave in the comments. Bye-bye. Love you all.